Hello, class. Today we're going to work on the last assignment for the magazine. This should wrap up our magazine that we've been working on all semester. So the first thing I want to do is share with you some samples to kind of let you know what I'm looking for. So basically, you're going to do a 4-page spread. So this one is 6. So we're going to focus on just 4 pages, which is 2 spreads. Okay. So the reason I'm showing you this is because it's going to look like it's formatted the same. So I don't want you to design 2 pages one way and then another article a different way. It should be one article, 4 pages. And so there should be like a common theme or a common style that kind of brings it all together. Okay, so here you have the colors that are bringing it together, the style, the type of photos that they're using. So that lets you know that you're still in the same article. You can choose to tie in your article using a font style, colors, shapes. You can bring in some shapes. So there should be something that brings it all together. Okay, so you could do different types of things. It could be very subtle, but you still know that you're looking at the same article because you see the same type of style used with throughout, and the same type of imagery. And I think like if this call out box could be used in another spread also, that would be another indicator that it's the same article. Yeah, so they're using this splash of red and teal in all of this that lets you know that it's part of the same theme or the same article. So that's really what I'm looking for. Please don't design two, like I said earlier, 2 pages one way and 2 pages another way and different themes. It's the same story, basically. Sometimes you'll have a story in a magazine that will take 4 pages. Sometimes it begins in the front of the magazine and then ends in the back, and there's ads throughout and things like that. You don't have to do that, but I want to make sure that we know that it's the same article. Okay. Here's another example where they're using, I like how they use that same style throughout. The underline and the heaviness of that font is very consistent. I like that. The boldness around the images, that also lets you know it's the same article. So using a common thread, that's really what I'm looking for. It could be simple. You could go for minimalistic and use typography to bring it all together. Just the way that you treat the font can be also the indicator that it's the same thing, same article. I wanted to share this with you. This is a book I bought in college that I felt like really helped me a lot because I always struggled with what to do with so much text when it came to like an editorial design. So you'll have instances where maybe they ask you to design a newsletter. It could be an annual report or, in this case, a magazine. And what do you do with so much content and how do you organize it? So I bought this book in college, and I think it's a Swiss design, and it's called Grid Systems, and it shows you how everything fits within a grid. And I just love how at the end of the book, it showed you examples of the grids in life. For instance, if you ever look at a sunflower and you see the pattern, it is so beautiful. And honeycombs too, there is a pattern that is created, um, like a mathematical pattern. It is mind-blowing how nature has such a perfection. And the same thing you can say with the universe, if you look at like the Milky Way and things like that. So this goes into that. I know this example here is very, very small, but I just wanted to show you that the grid system is used in online a lot because it helps to just organize your columns, um, putting your titles and spacing things out. It just helps you organize, and it just creates a very nice hierarchy. This is another example. You can choose however you want to use your images versus your columns and your text. So even, you can go, your font size can be really big, but within that grid, and people might not see it, but this is how you're working, and you have like this kind of like blueprint in the background for yourself, and once you take it out, everything just falls into place. It feels like it's connected and it's well anchored. This is an example of inside the book. And basically they say, there should be at least 8 to 10 words per line. Otherwise, the eye gets really tired to go all the way across. That's why I keep telling you not to just have a one big block of text with small font. So if you do go all the way across, your font has to be that much bigger. It has to fit at least 8 words per line, 8 to 10. So the smaller the text, the smaller the column it has to get. This is another example. It just shows how you can, play with the layouts and sketch them out before you even start. I know that in the beginning, I would sketch it all out before I got started because I just wasn't that fluid with the computer when I was just starting out. I was more of my initial rule of thought was pen and paper, and I used to draw more than I did. The graphics came later, which I think the graphics or these are tools, but I think creativity is hard to teach, but I think it still can. It's just a little bit harder. I think it's a talent that some of us have, but you can definitely learn techniques, and the tools definitely help. Okay, so let's go to our layout. This is where we left off last. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add two we're going to add 2 spreads. That's 4 pages. Oh, that is not where I wanted. This is my last page. That's going to be on its own. So I have 2 spreads here. Okay. I've already done my research, and I have found the text that I want to use and the images I want to use. So just to save time, so we don't have to go through all of that together. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to import an image. I found this image of a bee. Okay, so I'm going to design something about bees. I know that all of my articles are about different things, but your magazine should be one common theme. Mine, I'm just all over the place. Just to kind of inspire you different things to try different things. Okay, so my text, I have it all in it. This is how somebody would give you your text. Here's the text and create something nice and pretty. So this is my title. Okay, not very, I'm gonna highlight the word buzz. And let me see. Let's choose a different font for that. Let's choose this font. Let's hold down Control Shift. I like to do that way, and click and drag that way. I can make it bigger without guessing what number. I'm going to make this. I'm going to use this Rockwell and do the same thing. Control Shift, and I'm going to make that all caps. Probably needs some spacing between the, it's called kerning. Oh, that's making it wider. No, we want spacing between. There we go. Okay, this I would like to give it like a highlight color. I've chosen this Pantone color, and I want that right here. Okay, okay. This is where I should have already done this, but let me see how that looks. Okay, what I want to do here, this doesn't go all the way. What I want to do here is go to layout, margins, and you see where you have columns. I want to use at least 3 columns. So this added 3 columns to my layout. Say okay. Okay, so now that I have this, I am going to arrange my text so that it stays within those columns. Okay, so I basically want this text within these 2 columns right here, and this is kind of help me decide where I put my text. So the next thing is I want to get some more of this text. This right here is going to be a little bit of a call out, like, and I want this between these 2 columns right here. So Control V. Oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. And I'm going to use that same font, Rockwell. And I want it a little bit bigger. Okay, that looks good to me. One thing that I always have to remember is to make sure that I click on the hyphenate so it doesn't have hyphenate. Okay, so that is and I love this picture because it has so much negative space. So I'm able to find, I'm able to put a lot of words over it and it doesn't interfere with the legibility. Okay, so this one, I'm going to bring in the next paragraph. Okay, and let's get closer. All right, so you see how it has that little plus sign right there? It means that there's still more text there. So I'm gonna make another column. All right, so I want this to kind of spread out between the two. So it'll look like that. So that is how you can use the the um, the margins and the columns to help you. And and even that negative space makes sense because now everything is anchored where it should go. So it makes sense to you as the designer, but when you take it away, everything it just feels like it belongs there. Uh, so you have the right amount of words in one line. Same as it gets smaller, you want to get your columns a little bit smaller as well. Okay, so now we move to this side, and I am going to play with the polygon, right, tool, and I'm going to Control D. And I'm just gonna, I just picked a bunch of pictures with bees in it. So as a matter of fact, I want to create my pattern first because that was a little bit distracting. Let's add a border, maybe 3 points, and Alt. Okay, this is not going to be perfect. If I had more time, I would fine tune it, but I'm just going to guess. Okay, so once I have 3, then I usually can multiply it like that. Kind of want it to be coming off the page a little bit. And can move these over here. So I'm just playing with the pattern. Okay. So now I'm going to bring in some of these images. They're really big, so I can something like that. I can leave some of them without any images too, to kind of break up the pattern. Hold down Shift if you're doing it manually because your images can get very distorted. That's something that happens a lot. I think the more you you play with the program, you'll get used to it. How about some honey? Okay. And maybe some honeycomb. Okay. And let's add another one here. All right, Shift W. And there we have a little pattern going. And we're going to use that throughout so that you can tell that it's the same article. Okay, so next, I'm going to bring in some more text. Actually, let's bring in the rest of the text, which is all of this, because it's going to go into the next spread. Okay. So I'm going to start right here. And paste. You know, I can probably bring this in a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm just keeping the pattern that I'm using. That way, we're just going to continue doing that using the three column pattern is what I mean. Okay, so let's do a little call out. Bees are the world's top pollinators. Okay, let's do this one. There are around twice as many species of bees than there are species of birds. So I'm going to do a little call out, which I'm going to probably do right here. So I'm going to add this text right here. And I am going to choose Rockwell. Nope, that's condensed. I don't want that one. And I believe it was, I chose 20. So when you do that, because I'm going to use it several times, I would advise you to use the paragraph styles and add create new, and it automatically creates that style when you want to use it again, because I'm going to use it again. Now, I had already created that style and I named it, so I know, like, when you have a magazine and you have so many different styles, like you're going to have a style for this article, you're going to have a different style for that article, so you know that it's the same article, you know. So you're going to have a different style sheets here. So I already have this one and I called it bee call out. So that's mine right there. Okay, and so what I want to do is create some color in the background. So I'm going to use rectangle, and I'm going to create these colors with my swatches and Pantone. And I'm going to just duplicate this a couple times. Okay, now I want it evenly spaced, so I will click on all of that, and on alignment there is this distribute objects top edges, and that distributes it evenly. And so now I'm gonna look at where it ends in the word. That way it's a little bit more accurate right here. Okay, that one was fine. Okay, now the text box underneath, I'm going to say arrange, bring to front. Okay, so Shift W, this is kind of what the style that I want to give my little call outs. Okay, I just grabbed a little bit of text from my article and I highlighted that. Okay, so now I want to continue this after my call out. So I click on that and it continues on. All right. So that's my first layout. And we move on to the next layout here. I'm going to bring in one of these. I'm just going to steal that. I'm going to hold on Alt, click and drag. And I'm going to create a little pattern here. So I'll do the same thing. All right. Now what I'm going to do is group it, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Kind of take over some of the other side of the page. Okay, let's start bringing in some images. Control D. I'm not sure if I use that one, but I'm going to use it. I don't think I did. All right. By the way, this made me learn so much about how amazing these little creatures are. They serve so much that we don't even realize, I don't think. Just the way that they help pollinate and grow our food, you know, and it has medicinal purposes and all kinds of great, and it tastes yummy. Okay, let's pick. I might be using some of these twice, but I don't remember. Now I got to make sure that I'm not right there where it's going to cut, but it's a small image. If it was something different, I would be cautious about that. Okay. All right, let's see. Shift W. It looks a little odd that only that one. So I'm just going to add, I'm going to just add it up here. See what that does. Okay, let's just do it like that. Okay, so the same thing, we are going to lay out margins and columns and add 3 here. Okay, so what we do is we click on this text box and we bring the rest of that text on over to the next layout. So we just continue with the layout. Let's get a little closer because there we go. Okay. Trust me, there are times that they will give you so much text and you don't have enough room to get creative, but your job is to try to make it look interesting and good. So, all right, this is the last column that I'm going to put something in. So there's still leftover text. How much text is there? All right. I'm probably going to get rid of some text if I don't have room because I want to do another call out here. Okay, first of all, these right here need to be aligned. So I'm going to use my alignment and align them top align. Okay, they were already aligned, but I always want to make sure that they're aligned. And let me see what it looks like. Shift W. All right, so it's coming together. All right. So I am going to create another call out over here. Let's see where, maybe up here. All right, let's see something interesting that we can call out. Bees help create habitats for birds and insects and mammals. Okay. It takes a lifetime's work of 12 honeybees to make 1 teaspoon of honey. Let's do that one. I think that sounds pretty interesting. So what I'm going to do is put it here. Now all I have to do is highlight it, go to my paragraphs, bee call out, and there you go. And then we have our little call out. Okay, so now we're going to add those color bars. I don't know why it automatically goes to that. Must have picked up from the last project we were working on. Okay. Okay, now let's make sure that they're evenly distributed. Distribute objects. There we go. Now let's bring the text box to the front, arrange, bring to front. All right, there we go. That way it has an element from the other one that we can say, okay, that's the same. By the way, I wonder if all of this text is, we want to take out the hyphens. Yeah, we don't want hyphens. All right, so let's stop it right there because that doesn't look right. I'm going to group this together if I want to move it around. Otherwise, it's going to throw the whole thing off. All right, so we still have that plus sign, and we will continue on to the bottom. And I think we're going to stop there. I know there's more text there, but we're just going to stop right there. Shift W. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to add a bar over here. Not this color. It's going to be my Pantone color, and I'm going to choose 20% tint. Okay. And I'm going to choose this text. Each hive consists of 3 bee types, 3 types of bees. And I'm going to put that here. I'm going to use my paragraph style, but I'm going to make this bold though. Okay, and then I'm going to use a polygon tool. I'm going to make that white and the stroke or the outline yellow, and give it 3 points or 4 points of thickness. And I'm going to do 3 of them. And evenly distributed. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to bring in 60,000 workers. Text box. I'm going to get a little bit closer. Let's center that, and let's also choose the paragraph style. Okay, center, and let's bold 60,000. Okay, let's copy that, and let's choose 200 drones. All right, let's not bold this, regular. And let's copy that and choose 1 queen. Okay. Now Shift W. Okay, here we go. That is it, basically. So just wanted you to experiment on what to do with so much text, because that's really ultimately what sometimes you will have to do. And you don't know what to do with it to kind of spice it up or make it look a little bit more, break it up a little bit. Um, so that should conclude our whole magazine. So when you create your magazine and you are going to export it, you should have 14 pages total. Okay. So I have gone through each project with you. So this is exactly as many pages as you should have. If you have more, that's probably because you added more. But if you don't have 14, it's because you didn't do some assignments, I think. Okay. So the next thing you want to do is go to File and Export. And you want to go to, well, I'm going to put on my project 8, I'm going to do full magazine. And want to make sure that it's Adobe Print. Save. Right here, you want to say, instead of range, this is the way that we've been doing it, so you don't print the whole thing, not print, but export the whole thing. Now you want to say all. I think this is the time in the assignment where we want to see what everybody else has been doing all semester. And it's just so nice to kind of bring everything together and just look at everybody's magazine. So that's what you can do. I'm going to click on view PDF after exporting because I want it to just pop up. Under marks and bleeds, if you were going to print this out to a printer, you would need to use the bleed. So that is important. Not all the printers require crop marks, but it is good to do that. Page information is actually useful when you're at the office. And I'll show you because it says it will tell you the time that you printed and all the information, the name of the file. And so for me, it's very useful if I'm working with an editor or a writer, because it might look the same to you, but they might have made some small edits on, let's say, if you save them as version 1, version 2. So you want to make sure you know what version you're using. You can look at that information and know in case, like sometimes, well, in the past I've printed so much I don't know where I'm at, so I just keep page information on and it helps me. So you'll see. So we export. It says there's things outside in my pasteboard, and that's okay. So I'll put okay. And it's generating the PDF. I think it is. Okay, there we go. So, okay, so it's showing just, you could have put, that's another way that you could have put spreads, but you can also view. That's what I do. If someone does it this way, I do view page display and 2-page view, and you can see it that way. Okay. And so that the page information I'm telling you is like right here. Oh, right here at the bottom, it'll tell you the time and date and the name of the file. So that can be helpful. Okay. I know this looks off, but you did it the right way. I think if it would look better if you did it on spreads. Okay, so if you selected spreads. So let's go back and do that. Let's do File, Export, and say Full Magazine Design _ version 2. Save. I have all, and you can click on spreads. That way you won't have all that cutting, all those little crop marks there. Marks and bleeds. We still want the crop marks. I want the page information. And definitely, this is the important part. It's making sure that it bleeds. And then I put view. Okay, export. That's okay. And let's see the final result. Okay, so now this is the first page, and now it's in spreads mode. So if you can see, where is the information right here, the name of the file, and the time and date. All that is very useful if you're working with multiple people. Um, so just wanted to show you that. Okay, so this is what your magazine should really look like. All right. Now, again, if you want to move some of these around after you've done everything, you can. You can also move them in the back. You can push them to the back. You could put them if you think that it might fit well within some of your spreads. That's fine too, because you can get creative on how you want to arrange this whole thing once you're done. But the main thing is that I want 14 pages total, which should be, if you followed all of the assignments, this is what it should look like. Okay. Okay, that concludes this project. I am looking forward to seeing your entire magazines. I am sure they're going to look amazing. Okay, thank you, and I will talk to you later.